The auction of broken chains. The neon lights of Debris 7 flickered like dying stars across the underground marketplace. Marcus Kane adjusted his collar, feeling the weight of every credit chip in his pocket and every mistake in his past. The auction house reeked of desperation and greed, a combination he knew too well from his years as a salvage merchant in the Outer Territories. He hadn't come here to buy. He'd come to witness his own redemption. The auctioneer, a scarred Volaxian with 3 eyes, dragged 3 figures onto the platform. Their wrists were bound with energy cuffs that hummed with cruel efficiency. Marcus's breath caught. Even disheveled and imprisoned, the 3 women carried themselves with an otherworldly grace that silenced the rowdy crowd. The first had silver hair that cascaded past her shoulders, her violet eyes burning with defiant intelligence. The second possessed midnight blue skin that shimmered faintly, her gaze distant yet piercing. The third, smaller than her companions, had crimson markings across her bronze skin and a guarded expression that spoke of survival. 3 luminary females, the auctioneer announced. Rare acquisitions from the inner systems. Bidding starts at 50,000 credits. Marcus's hands trembled. Luminari. He'd heard stories of their advanced civilization, their queen who ruled with wisdom and strength. What were her people doing in chains? The bidding erupted around him. Slavers, flesh traders, and worse competed with rising numbers. Marcus watched the silver-haired woman's jaw tighten with each cruel offer. Something in her eyes reminded him of his sister, the one he'd failed to save years ago during the colony raids. Not again. 500,000 credits. Marcus's voice cut through the chaos. The room fell silent. The auctioneer's eyes widened. 500,000 to the human in the back. Going once, going twice, sold. As Marcus approached the platform, the silver-haired woman studied him with suspicious intensity. He pulled out the credit chip and handed it over, then immediately reached for the control pad to deactivate their restraints. "What are you doing?" she demanded, her voice musical yet edged with steel. "Freeing you," Marcus said simply, pressing the release sequence. The energy cuffs dissolved. The 3 women remained still, poised between fight and flight. "My name is Marcus Kane. I'm not a slaver. I'm—" He hesitated, someone trying to do one good thing. "You're free to go wherever you want. I have a ship docked at Bay 7 if you need transport." The silver-haired woman stepped forward, her eyes searching his face for deception. "Why?" "Because slavery is wrong. Because you deserve freedom. Because I couldn't save someone once, and I won't make that mistake again." The midnight blue woman whispered something in a lyrical language Marcus didn't understand. The smallest one nodded slowly, her defensive posture easing slightly. "I am Nixera," the silver-haired woman said finally. "These are my sisters, Talais and Vaisha. We are the daughters of Queen Zyra of the Luminari Empire." Marcus felt his stomach drop. He'd just purchased royalty. "We were betrayed by someone close to our mother," Nixera continued, her voice tight with controlled fury. "Sold to these criminals to destabilize our world. If you truly wish to help us, human, then help us find the traitor before we return home." Talais stepped beside her sister, her shimmering skin catching the harsh lights. Her voice was softer, more melodic. "You risked much for strangers. Why should we trust this kindness?" Marcus met each of their eyes. "You shouldn't. Not yet. Trust is earned, not bought. But I swear to you, I'll spend every moment proving I'm worthy of it." Vaisha spoke for the first time, her voice surprisingly gentle despite her warrior bearing. "Then let us leave this place, Marcus Kane. If you speak truth, you've just made 3 powerful allies. If you lie—" She left the threat hanging. "Bay 7, Marcus repeated. "My ship, the Wandering Echo. It's not much, but it's fast and it's safe." Secrets in the starlight. The Wandering Echo hummed through hyperspace, its corridors illuminated by soft blue emergency lighting. Marcus had given the sisters the only 3 private quarters on the ship, relegating himself to the crew bunk near the engine room. He didn't mind. Sleep felt impossible anyway. 2 days had passed since Debris 7. 2 days of cautious glances, careful words, and an electric tension that filled every shared space. The sisters moved through his ship like ethereal ghosts, beautiful and untouchable. Marcus found Nyxera in the observation dome at what his chrono insisted was 0300 hours. She stood before the transparent canopy, her silver hair floating slightly in the reduced gravity field, watching stars streak past like luminous rivers. Couldn't sleep either? Marcus asked softly, not wanting to startle her. Nyxera turned, and for the first time, he saw vulnerability in her violet eyes. I keep remembering the moment we were taken. The council chamber. My mother's face when the guards turned on us. She wrapped her arms around herself. Someone she trusted betrayed us. How do we return home not knowing who? Marcus stepped closer, maintaining respectful distance. Tell me about your world. About your mother. A small smile ghosted across Nyxera's lips. Luminara is beautiful beyond your human words. Crystal cities that sing with the wind. Gardens that glow under 3 moons. My mother rules with wisdom that spans centuries. Her smile faded. She must be devastated. We've been gone for 6 months. 6 months. Marcus felt anger rise in his chest. Those bastards kept you captive for half a year. We were moved between several locations. Vaisha tried to escape once. Nyxera's voice broke. They punished her. After that, we stayed together, protecting each other. Without thinking, Marcus reached out and gently touched her shoulder. She didn't pull away. You're safe now, he said. All 3 of you. I promise. Nyxera looked at his hand, then up at his face. You speak promises easily, Marcus Kane. What drives such conviction in a human salvage merchant? I had a sister, Elena. During the Outer Colony Wars, raiders attacked our settlement. I was off-world, chasing some stupid salvage contract. By the time I got the message. He stopped, the old pain still sharp. I couldn't save her. I've spent 10 years trying to make that mean something. Nyxera's expression softened completely. She turned to face him fully, and the starlight painted her features in silver and shadow. Loss shapes us all. Perhaps that's why I feel. She hesitated, safe with you, despite every reason not to. Their eyes locked. Marcus felt his heart racing as Nyxera stepped closer, the distance between them shrinking to mere inches. He could see flecks of gold in her violet irises, could feel the warmth radiating from her skin. Nyxera, She placed a finger against his lips, silencing him. Don't speak. Not yet. Let me simply feel this moment. It's been so long since I felt anything but fear. Her hand moved from his lips to his cheek, her touch feather-light and electric. Marcus stood frozen, barely breathing, as she studied his face like a precious artifact. You have kind eyes, she whispered, and a wounded heart that still tries to heal others. Is that what you see? Marcus managed. It's what I feel. Nyxera's hand drifted down to rest over his chest, above his pounding heart. Taileyes has the gift of emotional sensing. But I simply recognize a kindred spirit. Marcus covered her hand with his own. I won't let anything happen to you. To any of you. I know. Nyxera leaned her forehead against his, and they stood like that, breathing together, suspended in starlight and possibility. That terrifies me, Marcus. Because trusting means risking pain again. But when I look at you, I want to be brave enough to try. The ship's AI interrupted with a soft chime, announcing a course correction. The moment broke gently, like a soap bubble. Nyxera stepped back, but her expression had transformed, the walls lowered, if only slightly. Thank you, she said simply. For listening. For not demanding anything in return. Anytime, Marcus replied. I mean that. As Nyxera left the observation dome, she paused at the doorway. Marcus. My sisters are watching you too. Taileyes senses your emotions as clearly as I see your face. And Vaisha. A mysterious smile played on her lips. Vaisha respects strength and honor above all else. You're earning both. Alone again, Marcus touched his cheek where Nixra's hand had rested, still feeling the warmth of her skin. Taylai's confession. The engine room was Marcus's sanctuary, a place of grease, tools, and problems he could actually solve with his hands. He was elbow-deep in a coolant relay when a soft voice made him jump. "You find peace in mechanical things." Taylai stood in the doorway, her midnight blue skin shimmering in the amber work lights. Unlike her sisters, she moved with an almost dreamlike quality, as though she existed slightly out of phase with reality itself. Taylai's. Marcus wiped his hands on a rag, suddenly self-conscious. "I didn't hear you come in." "I know. You were thinking about Nixra. About what she said in the observation dome." Taylai's tilted her head, her dark eyes seeming to look through him rather than at him. "Your emotions are warm, confused, hopeful, guilty." Marcus felt exposed. "Nixra mentioned you can sense feelings." "Not just sense. I experience them as though they were my own." Taylai stepped closer, and Marcus noticed the intricate patterns that swirled beneath her skin like bioluminescent tattoos. "It's both a gift and a curse. I feel everyone's pain, everyone's joy, everyone's lies." "That sounds exhausting." "It is. Except." She paused, reaching out tentatively to touch the workbench beside him. "With you, it's different. Your emotions are honest. Pure. Even when you're uncertain, there's no deception beneath." Marcus set down his tools. "What do you feel from me right now?" Taylai's closed her eyes, and the patterns beneath her skin pulsed with soft light. "Attraction. To all three of us, though you feel guilty about it. Protectiveness, fierce and absolute. Curiosity about our world, our culture. And underneath everything, loneliness. You've been alone for so long, Marcus Kane." Her eyes opened, and Marcus saw tears gathering. "I feel lonely too. My gift makes true connection almost impossible. Everyone's emotions wash over me constantly. But yours." She moved closer still, until she stood directly before him. "Yours feel like coming home." "Taylai's, I don't want to take advantage." "Advantage?" She laughed, a sound like crystal bells. "You freed us. You ask nothing in return. You look at us like we're precious, not possessions. Do you know how rare that is?" Her hand found his, and Marcus felt a surge of warmth that seemed to flow between them. "I need to tell you something," Taylai said. "Something I haven't told my sisters." "What?" "I'm falling for you." The words tumbled out in a rush. "I've been feeling your kindness, your pain, your hope since the moment you deactivated our restraints. And somewhere in these past days, your emotions became necessary to me. Like oxygen." Marcus's breath caught. "Taylai's. I know it's complicated. I know Nixra feels drawn to you too. I sense it radiating from her whenever you're near. And Vaisha, Marcus gently squeezed her hand. "What about Vaisha?" Taylai's smiled knowingly. "Vaisha hides her feelings behind warrior's pride, but I feel them. She admires you, respects you, and beneath that." She trailed off. "We Luminari don't love the way humans do. In our culture, hearts can be shared without diminishment. Love multiplies rather than divides." Before Marcus could process this revelation, Taylai's rose on her toes and pressed her lips to his. The kiss was soft, tentative, and filled with unspoken emotion. Marcus felt warmth spread through his entire body as her bioluminescent patterns flared brightly. When they parted, both were breathless. "I've wanted to do that since you first smiled at me," Taylai's whispered. "Your emotions told me you wanted it too." Marcus cupped her face gently. "I did. I do. But I don't want to hurt anyone. Not you, not your sisters." "Then don't choose," Taylai said simply. "Let your heart be honest with all of us. We'll find our way together." She kissed him once more, deeper this time, before slipping away like moonlight, leaving Marcus alone with his racing heart and a future suddenly filled with impossible possibilities. Vaisha's fire. The proximity alarms shrieked through the wandering echo at 0600 hours. Marcus bolted from his bunk, reaching the cockpit in seconds. 3 ships appeared on scanners, sleek hunter-class vessels with weapons hot. Bounty hunters, he muttered, his fingers flying across controls. Vaisha appeared beside him, already dressed in form-fitting combat gear Marcus didn't know she possessed. Her crimson markings seemed to glow with barely contained energy. How many? Her voice was calm, steady, a warrior assessing the battlefield. 3 ships. 6 to 8 hostiles total, probably. Marcus initiated evasive maneuvers. They must be tracking the luminary signatures. Then we fight. Vaisha moved to the weapons console with practiced ease. I assume this vessel has defensive capabilities. Enough to make them regret finding us. Nyxera and Talais rushed in moments later. What's happening? Nyxera demanded. Bounty hunters, Vaisha replied without taking her eyes from the targeting display. Marcus, bring us about. I'll handle the guns. Vaisha, you don't have to. I'm a warrior princess of Luminara, she cut him off. I was trained in combat since I could walk. Now fly this ship and let me protect my sisters. Marcus grinned despite the danger. Yes, The next 15 minutes were chaos. Marcus pushed the Echo through maneuvers that made the hull groan while Vaisha fired with precision that spoke of extensive military training. She destroyed the first ship's engines, crippled the second's weapons array, and forced the third into a desperate retreat. When the final hostile vessel jumped to hyperspace, Vaisha's triumphant laugh filled the cockpit. Her eyes blazed with adrenaline and fierce joy. Now that, she declared, felt like freedom. Nyxera and Talais hugged their sister, relief washing over all of them. But Vaisha's eyes found Marcus, and something intense passed between them. You fly well, human, she said. Like a warrior born. You shoot better, Marcus replied. Where did you learn combat like that? My mother's empire isn't maintained through diplomacy alone. I command the Royal Guard's 3rd Battalion. Pride rang in her voice. Or I did, before the betrayal. The ship settled into calm space. Nyxera and Talais retreated to check for damage, leaving Marcus and Vaisha alone in the cockpit. The small space suddenly felt charged with electricity. Vaisha moved closer, her bronze skin still flushed from battle. Do you know what we do after victory, Marcus Kane? Celebrate, he offered, his voice rougher than intended. We live. Her hand traced the line of his jaw. We remind ourselves we survived. That we're alive and strong and worthy. Marcus's pulse thundered. Vaisha. I know my sisters have spoken with you. Talais told me she kissed you. She couldn't hide those emotions from me even if she tried. And Nyxera. Vaisha smiled. Nyxera watches you like you're a puzzle she's desperate to solve. And you? Marcus asked. What do you see when you look at me? An equal. She stepped into his space, her body against his. Someone who doesn't flinch from danger. Who protects without expecting worship. Who sees 3 women, not 3 prizes. Her fingers tangled in his hair. Someone who makes me feel alive. The kiss was nothing like Talais's gentle exploration. This was fire and demand, passion and relief, 2 warriors celebrating survival. Vaisha pressed against him with fierce intensity, and Marcus responded with equal fervor, his hands finding her waist, pulling her closer. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Vaisha's eyes sparkled with satisfaction. I've wanted to do that since you stood between us and those auction house guards. I didn't stand between anyone, Marcus protested. You put yourself at risk for strangers. That's the definition of a warrior's heart. She kissed him again, softer this time. My people have a saying, the heart that loves battle can also love peace. You understand both, Marcus Kane. A soft sound made them turn. Nyxera and Talais stood in the doorway, expressions unreadable. Marcus felt panic rise. This isn't, I wasn't. Nyxera held up a hand, silencing him. Her violet eyes moved between Marcus and Vaishya, then to Talais, and finally back to Marcus. "We need to talk. All of us. Now." The Queen's judgment and Love's resolution. The common room felt smaller with all four of them gathered. Marcus sat across from the three sisters, feeling like he was facing a tribunal. Nyxera spoke first, her voice measured. "Marcus, we've discussed this among ourselves. The situation we find ourselves in is unprecedented." "I never meant to cause problems between you," Marcus said quickly. "If I've overstepped." Talais laughed, the sound breaking the tension. "You think you've caused problems? Marcus, you've given us back our lives, our freedom, our hope. But we've also given you our hearts," Vaishya added bluntly. "All three of us, in different ways. And we feel your heart reaching back." Marcus looked at each of them, Nyxera's intelligent grace, Talais's empathic warmth, Vaishya's fierce strength. "I care about all of you. Deeply. But I don't know how this works. I don't want anyone hurt." Nyxera leaned forward. "In Luminari culture, love isn't possessive. When someone worthy emerges, hearts can be shared in what we call a unity bond. It's rare, sacred, and requires absolute honesty from all involved." "You're saying?" Marcus struggled to process this. "We're saying we want to try," Talais finished. "If you're brave enough. If you can love all of us without reservation or deception. And if you can face our mother," Vaishya added with a wry smile, "who will absolutely test you like you've never been tested before." Marcus sat back, his mind reeling. "Your mother. Right. The Queen of the Luminari Empire, who I'll have to explain I've fallen for all three of her daughters." "Actually," Nyxera said, pulling out a communication device, "she's been waiting to hear from us. I think it's time we went home." The journey to Luminara took 3 days. 3 days of learning to navigate this new relationship. Stolen kisses with Nyxera under starlight, quiet moments of emotional connection with Talais, playful sparring sessions with Vaishya that ended in passionate embraces. Each sister brought something different, and Marcus found his heart expanding in ways he never thought possible. When they finally emerged from hyperspace above Luminara, Marcus understood why the sisters spoke of it with such reverence. The planet gleamed like a jewel, 3 moons casting ethereal light across crystal cities that seemed to sing. Queen Zyra awaited them in the royal landing bay, flanked by guards in ceremonial armor. She was tall, regal, with silver hair like Nyxera's and eyes that seemed to pierce through deception to truth itself. The sisters rushed to embrace their mother, and Marcus watched the reunion with warmth in his chest. Then Zyra's attention turned to him. "So, you are the human who purchased my daughters." Marcus bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty, I purchased them to free them. Nothing more was intended." "And yet you've gained everything," Zyra said, though her tone wasn't accusatory. "My daughters' trust. Their affection. Perhaps even their love." "Mother," Nyxera stepped forward, "Marcus saved us. Protected us. He asks nothing in return." "I sense his honesty," Talais added. "His emotions are pure." "He fights like a warrior and honors like a king," Vaishya declared. Zyra studied Marcus for a long moment. Then, surprisingly, she smiled. "I have been queen for 3 centuries, Marcus Kane. In that time, I've learned to recognize true character. You could have sold my daughters to the highest bidder. Could have used their gratitude for personal gain. Could have broken them when they were vulnerable. She stepped closer. Instead, you gave them freedom, safety, and respect. You've earned something far more valuable than my approval. You've earned theirs. And in our culture, that is everything." "Your Majesty, my daughters have explained your situation. A unity bond." Zyra's expression softened. "It's been generations since one was formed. It requires a heart large enough to hold multiple loves without diminishing any. I see that capacity in you." She placed a hand on Marcus's shoulder. "You have my blessing. All of you. But know this, human, hurt any of them, and you'll discover why I've ruled an empire for 300 years. "I'd expect nothing less," Marcus replied honestly. The formal ceremony took place under Luminara's 3 moons. Marcus stood before the crystal altar while Nyxera, Thales, and Vaishya joined hands with him. Ancient words were spoken in the Luminari tongue, binding 4 hearts into one unified bond. When it was complete, Marcus felt something shift inside him, a connection that transcended physical touch, linking him emotionally to all 3 sisters. He could feel Nyxera's quiet joy, Thales's overwhelming love, Vaishya's fierce pride. "Welcome to our family," Nyxera whispered, kissing him softly. "Welcome to our hearts," Thales added, her bioluminescent patterns glowing brilliantly. "Welcome to our forever," Vaishya finished, her embrace strong and certain. As celebration erupted around them, Marcus looked at his 3 incredible partners and felt complete for the first time since Elena's death. He'd sought redemption and found something infinitely better, a love that multiplied instead of divided, a family built on freedom and choice, and a future among the stars with 3 extraordinary women who'd taught him that the heart's capacity was truly limitless. The traitor was found and brought to justice within the month. But that's another story. This one ends where the best ones do, with love, hope, and the promise of adventures yet to come. Lessons from the stars. True love doesn't demand possession, but celebrates freedom. When hearts unite without chains, they become unbreakable. The greatest treasures aren't purchased with wealth, but earned through kindness, courage, and the willingness to protect without expecting reward. Love multiplies when shared honestly. A heart brave enough to embrace multiple souls without deception finds fulfillment beyond measure. Sometimes redemption comes not from erasing past failures, but from honoring them by becoming someone worthy of a second chance at happiness.